Don't touch it!
Too late.
My dearest Oakley, if you're hearing this, then I've failed to protect you. I'm so sorry, my darling. I had hoped this day would never come. I made so many mistakes in my life, and now you're paying the price. I wish I could shield you.
She can't hear you, baby. I think she's using plant matter to create something like a residual haunting. I think it's like a record that will play over and over.
I made a pact with a gremlin to save your father. We lived in the wilds of Alaska, and he was a bush pilot. The gremlin was determined to sabotage his airplane. I signed his contract to spare your father's life. I would have signed anything in order to save him. The gremlin said if I promised him our firstborn child, he would spare your father's life. We hadn't planned to have children. I took measures to ensure I wouldn't get pregnant, but somehow we were blessed with you. I thought I had outsmarted the horrible creature, but in the end, I had ruined everything. For a short time, he left us alone. I had almost convinced myself it had all been a bad dream. Then one day he appeared without warning and demanded I help him bring down a building. I refused, but he said the contract granted him use of my powers. I hadn't read the fine print. I was so desperately in love with your father, I would have done anything to save his life. Well, after that, the gremlin would show up every couple of months and demand I help him. I had nowhere to turn, no one to help me. When I conceived you, I knew we had to run, but I had never told your father the deal I'd made with the gremlin. Before I could figure out how to tell him, his plane went down, and there were no survivors. Being a fae, the forest called to me, and the gremlin knew that. I figured the last place he'd look for me was in a city, so that's where I ran. While you were a small child, I would move us any time I caught even the faintest whiff of a magical being nearby. As you grew up, though, you made friends and started school, and I couldn't bear to uproot you all the time. There are many species with magical powers. I convinced myself that I was just being paranoid and that it was wrong to move you every time I caught a hint of magic. Vampires and werefolk often prowl the cities. I shouldn't have gotten complacent. If you're seeing this, though, I messed up again. So many mistakes, Oakley. I'm sorry, baby. I never dreamed the gremlin would renege on our deal and kill your father. I should have, though. I should have. He's been dishonest from the start. He altered the contract several times and tried to pass it off as the original. Oakley, parchment is made from trees, and plants will always aid you. If you use your powers, you'll see the lies. I was afraid to go to the council. I didn't know who was trustworthy. If the council sides with the gremlin, they'll turn you over to him. I couldn't take that risk. You're all I have left. There's a copy of the contract in the log. I only pray the council will see reason. I'm so sorry, Oakley.
Are you okay? Oh, baby, come here. Let me hold you. I know you miss her. Shh. I'm sure it was bittersweet hearing her voice. She loved you very much. My guess is your father was human, and she wasn't sure if you were fae or not. Plus, if you started using your powers, it would have increased the chance of the gremlin finding you two. It sounded like she thought she had more time. I don't think she had any idea the gremlin had found you two.
She lied to you. She only cared about her precious husband. She didn't love you.
Oakley, strengthen the wall, baby. Keep him out. You can't let him shake your faith in your mom. It will give him more power.
She never wanted you. She even told you so.
I've made so many mistakes. We never wanted children.
That is not what she said, Oakley. He's twisting her words. If he can confuse you and make you unhappy, the wall starts to crumble and he can break through.
I took measures to ensure I didn't get pregnant.
She resented you. She took you to the city so you'd never come into your powers. She didn't want you happy.
Move every time I caught a whiff of magic.
Why don't you come fight me, you worthless excuse for a magical being? Tell me where you are, and I will finish this once and for all.
She only wanted your father. She didn't want you.
Oakley, touch the log. Feel the love pouring from it. Love for you. If she didn't love you with all her heart, she wouldn't have sent you this message. She wouldn't have made sure she could help you set this right if he managed to kill her.
I never tried to kill her. I only want what is mine. How was I to know your kind was susceptible to iron? The dragon is lying to you. He wants your powers for himself.
Well, you stepped on your dick with that one, dumbass. Oakley knows you're full of shit now. I wouldn't know a flower from a weed. There you go, babe. One brick at a time. That's it. Kick his ass right out of your mind. Of course she loved you. Who wouldn't? You're amazing. You make my dragon heart swell with pride. I couldn't ask for a better mate.
I own you. You belong to me. I will have what is rightly mine.
Your mom was smart. She figured out a way to send you the original contract. When we're sure he's locked out, we'll look at it and decide on the best course of action. We're in this together, babe. Together, nothing can defeat us. Least of all a lying, cheating vermin like him. That's it, baby. Look how strong you are. You have an idea? Sure, tell me. You think you can track him through your mind link? Ooh, that sounds dangerous, babe. He seems to know exactly what buttons to push to upset you. You weren't as upset as you made it seem. You see inside his head each time he connects with you. Huh. Did you learn anything that might help us? Gremlins are weakest during the day. They're afraid of the sun. That's why he was hiding in the cave. Okay, I know that look. You have a plan. You want to wait until daylight and then trap him. How would we do it? Yeah, I can do that. What type of net would hold him? You're sure? He only has powers over mechanical objects. I see. It's dangerous. I don't want you anywhere near him. You have to promise me you'll stay in the cave. Okay, it's a plan then. Let's get some rest until the sun comes up. Hey guys, I just wanted to say thanks to all my patrons and subscribers, and give a shout out to my two obsessed patrons, Jamie Lynn and Ryan Ellison. You two are a special kind of crazy to support me the way you do. Thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated.